Welcome to the Mostly Traverse City podcast. I'm Julie Bronze.
And I'm Don Pichet.
Each episode, we introduce you to the real treasure of TC, its people.
You're invited to get to know the soul of Traverse City, one story at a time. Enjoy the latest episode of the Mostly Traverse City podcast.
Welcome to the Mostly Traverse City podcast. I'm here with my friend Connie Denewith. And I'm glad you tuned in today, and I'm so excited to share Connie with you. She is this phenomenal woman and has done so many unique and special things, so I think you'll really enjoy it. So welcome, Connie.
Thank you, Julie.
Thanks. So tell me a little bit. I know you didn't grow up here, right?
I did not.
Where did you grow up?
I went to Birmingham schools and then grew up in the city of Troy.
Okay, so downstate. Mm-hmm. And then... So where did you go to college?
Michigan State.
Oh, good.
One of those.
Yeah, one of those. We're fans here, but we like Michigan too, depending, you know, unless they play each other. But
yeah, right. Yeah. You have to draw the line somewhere.
That's where you went to college then.
Yes.
So you lived downstate your whole growing up time.
I did.
So how did you end up here then?
In Traverse City. Well, I got married, and my husband bought a concrete company here in Traverse City. It was Peninsula Asphalt and Concrete, and he bought the concrete assets of Peninsula, and it had gone into bankruptcy. So he bought it from the bankruptcy judge, and so he bought it cheap and turned it around, made it a phenomenal ready mix producer.
Oh, that's cool. Is it still around?
It is. It was Cornelli Concrete.
Oh, yeah.
Red and yellow mixers running around town. Then he sold it to U.S. Concrete. They did not do such a great job with it. Bought it back, and then sold it again.
Okay. Try it again. It's okay, let's see if we can find a better person.
And it's now to SRW is who's driving his trucks around. But
well, very fun.
Yeah.
So that's what brought you up here?
Yes.
Okay.
Concrete.
And did you guys meet at school?
No, my cousin introduced us.
Oh. Thank goodness for cousins.
Yes.
Right? Yeah,
yes.
Right.
She was wonderful. I'm forever thankful to her.
That's good.
And my husband passed away 10 years ago. So 10 years.
I know. Wow. I remember it clearly because we got to know each other through hockey.
Yes.
And you guys were such a big part of it. He was a huge part of the hockey world, and you both were. But yeah, that's how we got to know each other. And I mean, it was stunning, shocking, just unbelievable. And yeah, rocked everybody. I think when that happened, unexpected to say the least.
Right.
I'm sure even more so for you.
Yeah. Right. So, I woke up and he was dead.
I remember that.
Yeah, lying next to me. So, yeah, and he was healthy looking and appearing and acting. So it was, you never know what tomorrow's going to bring.
No. And that might have changed some of the ways that you maybe have done things since then.
Sure.
Yeah.
It sure has. I committed after his passing, I committed to the boys that we weren't going to die because their father had passed away, that we were going to live. And so every year since his passing, we have taken a nice vacation together until they eventually get married and have children and they won't want to vacation with their mom.
No, I think they'll probably still want to. And that's my prediction.
I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that their eventual wives will enjoy going somewhere fun, and
I'm sure they will. I'm sure your boys will pick good wives, and I'm sure that will mean that their wives will want to do that, and so so I'm sure you'll be able to keep it up.
I hope so.
Yeah. So that changed life for you dramatically then. But even while you were married, you were both working, right?
So very involved.
Yeah. So tell me, because this is part of why I wanted to have you on here, because you have such an interesting work history. So what was your degree in when you graduated from college?
Accounting at Michigan State. And so I was a CPA with Arthur Anderson in Detroit.
Okay.
And audited banks when I was a CPA of publicly traded banks and privately traded banks, and got to peek into the internal workings of the banking industry and thought it was a really cool, fun industry.
Yeah.
So I jumped ship from the accounting world into the banking world.
Okay. And so you have started banks, right? You've been.
I was initially with Republic Bank here in Traverse City. Well, I was with another bank in the Troy area, Liberty State Bank, and it was sold to Huntington. And that was the time when the small community bank was sold to a publicly traded bank. I realized there was a big difference in banking between community banking and
There is indeed.
and I wanted to be part of the community banking environment where you could really help people and you didn't have to credit score and you don't have to fill out a big checklist and deny people because they missed two of the boxes or whatever. You could just use really good sound judgment.
Yeah. You bank based on getting to know people and recommendations, and it's a personal thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So go ahead.
There's some elements that are absolutely necessary, the ability to repay and
Right.
good credit that you keep your promises.
Yeah.
Is what good credit really means.
Yeah.
But yes, sometimes it's a character. It's what kind of character, what kind of quality people will stand by their obligations no matter what happens in the future. So
yeah. Yeah. So then when you moved up here, did you move up here? You were with Republic Bank when you moved up here?
Yes.
Okay.
And then to get married, I got married and moved up. So because my husband had just bought the concrete company.
Okay.
So I worked for Republic Bank for a while. Then my late husband, sold the concrete company. And at the time he sold the concrete company, we were having our first child. And so I decided to just take a break from banking. And then had child 1 and 2. And then a local bank in town started going sideways. 2009, there was a lot of banking turmoil.
There was a lot of stuff that happened around that time from a banking perspective, I think. Yeah.
Yes. A couple of the board members from Traverse City State Bank said, our bank is struggling and near failure. Would you be our CEO? And I said, absolutely not. That is a major project and a turnaround. But what I will do is help you. I'll work for you for 90 days.
Famous last words.
Yes. I'll work for you for 90 days and I will interview some CEOs with you, and I will help make sure customers were being served. And then 90 days turned into 15 years. So that was kind of crazy.
But you know what? I think you're exactly right. That maintaining that local small bank is so important. Mm-hmm. It really is. Not that big banks don't have a place, for sure, but there's just such a difference in that connection. You live in the community, you know the people that you're banking with, and if somebody says, hey, you know what, you should talk to Connie and I can introduce you, it just means so much. And you also know, again, you have to be fiscally smart, obviously, but you know what the community is like and what businesses might do better than others and you can help people in that manner too.
Absolutely.
Make smart choices.
Just approving a loan is not everything to banking. It's connecting people to the right resources. They might need a very strong human resource department or assistance, and you can hook them up with somebody who's very good at that. They might need a good lawyer, a good insurance person.
Yeah.
Since our job is to analyze businesses full time, we learn what works and what doesn't work, and
Right.
we spread the word about what does work and help others.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So when so 15 years, are you still there, right?
No, I left when we sold it to Independent Bank.
Oh, okay.
It was the right about when Rick passed away, and it
Okay.
was just too much. I had my two
Yeah.
boys. We ended up selling the bank within a year and a half of
Okay.
my husband's passing, and I was busy
Yeah.
with them, and also just doing some volunteer work. But now I'm part of a team that started another bank.
Right. Yes, sorry. I got that crossed over. So what's the name of this other bank?
This
that you
new
said?
bank is Grand Traverse State Bank, and it's on State Street, right next to the Park Place parking lot.
So another local bank.
Another local bank.
Love it.
Because when I started back in banking in Traverse City in 2009, when the market crashed, there was 272 community banks, and now there's only 72 in the state of
Really?
Michigan. In the state of Michigan,
Wow, that's
so
wild.
a significant atrophy
Yeah.
of banks. And even though we feel like we have a lot of banks up here in the credit unions, many of them have been gobbled up and
Yeah.
taken over. And I thought, this town is so small. I have such a passion for small business that small business is going to suffer if the big banks are the only ones making the credit rules.
Yeah. Right.
The little guy's not going to get a chance to get started. And anyway,
Yeah.
I'm a big proponent of small and medium.
I love it.
It's worked over the
Yeah.
35
Well, I
years.
know that I know when we started our office here 31 years ago, we'd been in Washington State for 5 years prior to that. But when we came here, we went to a bigger bank that used to be down the street here, and they turned us down. And then the funny thing was, then anyway, we found a small local bank that's not here anymore, sadly. But we found a small local bank, and they were like, "Oh, absolutely, it's like, yes, totally, we can do this." And later, we had gone over to the other bank, and we were stunned when we got turned down. We were like, "Wait, what? What are you talking about?" Did not expect that,
Yeah.
And then my father-in-law said, "You got to go over and talk to my friend over here. They'll. So we did, got approved, got the ball rolling. Well, that afternoon we got a call back from the other bank, and they were like, "Wait a minute, no, come back." And we were like, "Sorry,
Too late.
too late." But because the person that turned us down didn't know, because they just moved there from outside, whatever. But this other person was like, "No, we know your family, come back." But we'd already gone somewhere different. But that was that small bank, versus the big bank.
Right.
And I'm very grateful to the small bank. I was very sad when they got bought out. And, but anyway, so I'm glad that you're doing that, because it does make a difference, makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm going to just pop into, I have 3 quick questions for you.
Okay.
Number 1, what's your favorite restaurant in town?
Oh, there's so many. I'm a big fan of Harrington's. I love Red Ginger, of course.
Yeah.
So many people do. The Marshes are an amazing family. On top of the food quality is terrific. So I guess those would be my top 2.
Love it. Both are great. Both are great. And if you were like, what's a hidden gem for you? Like, when you think about, oh my gosh, when I go here in this area, it just feeds my soul. Where do you feel at peace, or what's a hidden gem for you?
I would say the Sleeping Bear Dunes and that whole area of Otter Creek and the west coast of our town. It's so beautiful and so Relaxing,
Yeah.
serene.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. I know you and I both live on inland lakes,
Yes.
and I love it. But to me, being by the big water, it just brings something different.
Yes.
I'm with you. I love it. And what is one local business that you think everybody should support?
Well, I am a huge fan of the Olson grocery stores because I'm on the board of directors of Olson's Foundation,
Oh, okay.
and we give away, it's not my money, the Olson family, but I'm on the board and I get to help approve these grants. But we give away about $1.2 million a year.
Wow.
And it's all that money goes into the 5-county area. So they're helping nonprofits, they're helping trail systems, they're helping start amazing organizations. There's so many people. The money is spread around, maybe out among 50 different organizations that you'd recognize 9 out of 10 of them.
That's fantastic. I did not know that. I didn't know it was that big of a foundation. I mean, I knew that they had a big foundation, but I didn't recognize how much they actually gave to the community. I usually shop at Olson's out on 3 Mile in Hammond because it's right on my way home. So it's like, oh, pop in, get my groceries, and it's nice, and I know where everything is. I used to shop at Meijer when I had all the boys home, but now I go there and I'm like, well, this is overwhelming.
Yes.
They do a lot of good too, Meijer stores, but not. It's much harder locally, So having that local connection is certainly very important. So you are involved. That's one thing that you're involved with, but you are involved in a tremendous amount of community organizations.
Yeah.
I know another thing was the honor flight. You're still involved with that, right?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, my husband and I were committed to veterans and all that they do for our community. The honor flight sends veterans to their memorial before they pass, and they triage the list, and they do it for free. They triage the list to make sure the oldest and or the sickest get to go, because they don't want to lose the opportunity and have these veterans pass and not be able to ever go see their memorial for the war that they fought in, or the whatever battle. And it's so heartwarming. And one of the most heartwarming moments was when one of the Vietnam veterans got off the plane, and we asked him how his trip was, and he just started bawling.
Yeah.
And he said, I have never been thanked, and I have never felt good about serving until now.
Wow.
Because I got to be with my buddies on the plane. I got to go see the memorial, and I came home and I was honored by my community, and that never happened. And so that's so inspiring.
Right. Especially, I would, for like the Korean, it's kind of like they're forgotten.
Right.
Everybody talks about World War II, and then people that came back from Vietnam were just treated terribly.
Terribly.
Just, so sad, and just so much. I mean, war creates heartache enough, but then to come home and just be ostracized and treated terribly must have been just devastating, and it was for so many people, and we're still living the consequences of that. So I would imagine that would be an amazing experience.
Right.
And so the honor flights, they have them once a year from here?
Oh, they try to do twice a year.
Okay.
If they have enough money.
Okay.
But they usually can raise enough money to send one flight. It's maybe about $250,000 to rent the plane, to spend one day. They just go early in the morning, they come back late at night.
Okay. And how many? And so when a veteran goes, they bring somebody with them. Is it usually a loved one, or is it some
Either.
Okay.
They can have a family member be their escort, or they can have an escort assigned to them. And they bring medical staff on the plane because some of these veterans are have medical issues.
Yep.
So it's well staffed and well organized, and it's just so heartwarming.
Now, are there still any World War II vets that are going, or
I don't
are we
think
at
so.
the end?
We're
of that?
almost at the
Yeah.
end. We're
Wow.
almost at the end.
Which is just a whole nother thing to think about, just how time just passes like that. But so I know in the hockey world, one of the things was the fundraiser, the game between the Reps and Central. When is it, in January?
In January.
Yeah, January is a big fundraiser for that too, right?
And the money goes, or the gate of charging people to enter goes to the honor flight and to the local Veterans Coalition.
Okay.
On Veterans Drive.
Okay.
So a little bit local, and then the honor flight does fly out locally out of Traverse City Airport.
Okay. How many vets normally get to go?
50
Wow. Okay.
per flight. But then, it's 50 escorts,
Yeah.
and then the medical
And
staff
and
yeah.
other volunteers and
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes it's more,
Okay.
depending on the flight, the airplane that they book.
Okay.
So if they have more money, they'll book a larger airplane.
So is it like a Delta airplane, or how do you
Yes.
get these airplanes?
Yes, mostly American.
Okay.
Flies a
Well,
lot.
that's appropriate.
So right, it totally is. It rotates a little bit
Okay.
based on their availability and their
Okay.
desire to help.
Okay. All right. Well, it's such a, I've seen videos of people going and coming back, and it is a very moving experience. So what are some other organizations that, I know it's hard for you to pick because you're involved in so many, but
I call myself a serial volunteer.
it's not a bad thing to be. I love it.
I love to help. Well, American Liver Foundation is I'm on that board. It's a national board, and it raises money for liver research and treatment and education. And,
Okay.
and that I got involved with that because my father had a liver transplant, and he lived an extra 17 years due to a liver transplant. And so I'm just trying to repay that gift of life. And my sister died early the same year that my husband passed away, and she died unexpectedly from an asthma attack. And we couldn't reverse what happened, that her throat closed and she couldn't breathe, and she became brain dead. But we got to donate 16 of her organs to repay back my father's debt of getting a liver and living. So gift of life has been a huge personal project for me.
Yeah. That's wonderful. Yeah, again, that's a national organization, so the Olson Foundation locally, and then that as a national. So you're like involved all over, spreading love and joy and peace and connection. I love it. Just in closing, is there any, like, if somebody was to move here, how would you recommend that they would get involved? Or is there something, like some places where you're like, hey, you should go here, seek out community, or what are you?
I think, and everybody's so different about what their personal and business objectives are. But going to some events, spend the first year going to different events so that you can get a taste for Munson and their projects. I'm a cuddler at Munson, and I cuddle brand new babies.
Oh.
I know, for 4-hour stints. I only do it once a week. That's what all they ask.
That sounds like the best job ever.
It is. It's so awesome. So, I mean,
So I want to know, though, how, like, are the parents not there? How do you get to cuddle them?
Well, there's lots of reasons to cuddle, but one is, a baby might be a preemie, and the parents are in the UP, and they have to work. They can't just take off time. So a preemie may need to stay in the ICU for
Yeah.
6-8 weeks.
Right.
And so people thrive with touch.
Oh, absolutely. I
And
know. I did. Yeah, we see that every day
you
in here.
know,
Yeah.
I'm preaching to the choir. And so these babies need like love to be held and rocked and just
Yeah.
bounced
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Love
so
and human connection and touch. And
yes,
yes, it's so important.
yes, and you just get to rub their arm and
Oh.
touch them, and but then some of the babies are coming off of drugs,
Oh, yeah.
and so they have a step down in the medication to wean
Yeah.
them off the drugs, and they're very irritated, and
Yeah.
so then the nurses they have to take care of all these babies in the ICU. So they need to be doing their job, but they can't cuddle and
Right.
hold these babies. So we
Right.
swaddle them in warm blankets. We
Yeah.
change their diaper. We feed them. We hold them. We do a little cradling. And anyway, so
it.
over time they do withdraw from the
Yeah.
drugs, and they are become much more comfortable.
Oh, that sounds like the best job
It
ever.
is really great. I would
Yeah.
highly recommend it. And I don't have my boys are not married, and so I have no grandchildren, and
Right.
so I'm
Right.
just too far away from.
Right.
Instead of pushing my boys into something they don't want to be doing, having babies early, I just go get my cuddling fix at Munson.
I have one grandchild, but she's almost 8.
Oh.
But when she was little, I took care of her a couple of days a week, and it was the best for like her first, I don't know, 4 or 5 months or so. And then we see a lot of babies in here, so I get to cuddle a lot of babies
get
in
your
here,
fix.
and it's the best.
Yeah.
They're just. I mean, you see this. It's like, and you can look at them. You're like, what are you going to bring? What are you bringing to the world? What are you going to end up doing? That's fantastic and wonderful, and it's such a gift to be able to be with little ones like that, and just they're, and as they grow, it's just that interest and excitement in life and exploring, and it's. I mean, you had boys, I had boys, and it's right. But kids in general, you have a lot of tired moments, but when you get those moments where you can see their inquisitiveness, and it's just such a cool thing and just such a miracle. It's like, wait, there's another human just joined the world.
Absolute miracle.
It's just total miracle. And so
I was saying, I'm sorry, I got derailed on cuddling, but I was saying that attending different community events would give you a feel for the community and what kind of organizations are appeal to your interest and your passions. Big Brothers, Big Sisters. You attend one of their events, a child and family service. Your church has terrific events. So that's a great deep dive into the community. Maybe the first year to go to one a month.
That's a really good idea, because you also might find something that you don't think you're really going to be interested in, and then discover, hey, you know what? I really like this,
and I can help.
Yeah, and I
can make a difference.
Yeah, where is there a need, and I'm enjoying this, and I can step up. So that's a great idea. You're the first one to suggest that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, going to taking a year and exploring. I think that's a really smart thing. I always think that it. Really to really feel connected and engaged in a community, it takes about 3 years. You got to give yourself 3 years, and if you start out right off the bat by exploring like that, I think that's a phenomenal way to get connected and find people that you can do community with. So yeah. Any other last words that you can think of? Any words of admonition or wisdom or anything that you want to leave us with?
Well, I love being involved in my church and the school. I'm deeply involved in the Catholic schools. I helped co-chair the construction and fundraising for Immaculate Conception School, and so that's been a real passion. And and now we're working on fundraising for St. Francis High School, because the high school has been around, the structure's been around since the 40s, and it needs a total revamp.
Need a little love and care.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna spend $15 million just infrastructure stuff, and phase 1, and then phase 2 will be another 15 million. But phase 1 is what we've got to get at after. New roof, new air conditioning.
Oh, wow.
Well, the air conditioning really, heating and cooling is more heating in the winter, and they only air condition a few rooms in the summer. But it's mostly, and ultimately there will, we hope, be a second gym and good quality athletic facilities. So
That's awesome.
Anyway.
I love that. That's a great goal, and I know the school system there is wonderful.
it is.
And they do a really, really good job. So that's exciting.
Yes.
That's a big project.
It's a big project. So anybody interested in volunteering, there's a lot of very little, medium, and large tasks that they would love to have you help at St. Francis High School.
Wonderful. So a little plug for that. And I'm sure also if you have donations to any of these wonderful organizations, please step up and give. So with that, thank you so much for coming on.
My
I'm really
pleasure.
glad that it worked out.
It was totally enjoyable, and thank you to your listeners for all your interest.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in to the Mostly Traverse City podcast. Till we see you next week. Have a beautiful day. Thanks for tuning in to the Mostly Traverse City podcast. Until next time, stay curious, stay connected, and keep living your own kind of magic.